freeze. So I need these mental models, right? And these are not developed by me, but put together from various sources. But one mental model that's helped me a lot is to do with decision making. Let me ask you, how many of you are fully aware of how you make decisions? Okay, how many of you think you make decisions logically? Interesting. And how many of you think you make decisions emotionally? Okay, so there's some level of awareness. How many of you studied decision making? Okay, wow. There's a few hands that went up. So, what I figured out is that typically decision making comes from four areas. Now, we think of it very simply, logically and emotionally, rationally and emotionally, right? And men say women always make emotional decisions, and women say men, you're too logical and there's no emotion. Basically, from Mars and Venus. That's generally been the perception. I'm not stereotyping, I'm just saying that's what people perceive it to be. But there are two other areas where decision making comes from. One is ego, which is, you can say, a form of emotion, but I think it's a little deeper than that. And the other is conditioning. So, for example, and this is a good example to give in our country, and given one of the businesses I run, when you feel that real pressure to get married, but financially and emotionally you're not ready, but you still feel nahi karna hi hai, that's conditioning. Because as soon as you're born, हमारे देश में 150 करोड़ लोग लग जाते हैं आपकी शादी कराने में. They just every day think and talk about your wedding, at least in your family. So you're so conditioned, you can't think beyond it after a certain age. But it could be a very bad decision. We take another example, emotional decision. And I used to struggle with this, right? I want to spend a day in the house with my daughter because she has a day off from school. But I used to struggle, but how do I say, sab log kaam pe aa rahe, how can I not go to work? But as soon as I realized that this is an emotional decision, I became comfortable with the fact that I'm willing to take that emotional decision because I love my daughter. And suddenly the clarity emerges that, okay, wow, that's fine. And in work, right, you might have a decision that you need to, and the best idea should win at work, for example. But you might have a problem with somebody having gone to IIT and you never went to IIT. And you're suddenly, destroying their ideas. But you're just doing it out of ego. But ideally at work, you want to make rational decisions. So I think as soon as you start to understand conditioning, ego, emotion, rationality, and the awareness develops as to where that is coming from, you can make better decisions. I'm not saying that you always have to make decisions rationally. You can make decisions anyway, but being aware how you're making them will help you make better decisions. So I just think that framework kind of works for me.